Gospels, prophets, sages, Leviticus, laws to pause, find phrases, turning them corners, your spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Psalms singing sweet, unbroken lines, hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound, plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the never blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered, spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ, flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message, flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick, raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions, streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens, with each Goliath tackled, faith extend. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered, spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ, flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message, flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick, raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions, streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens, with each Goliath tackled, faith extend. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. 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 Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick, raining blessings down with a slick.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you all here. Let me just look at my volume. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So, hope that's good with everybody else. You'll have to let me know. I think it's decent. I was doing a call last night, and I turned my computer volume all the way up because one of the people I couldn't hear, and I think it was on their end. But Hobo Bob, kids have 2 hours snow delay. Okay, I think everything around here is closed because of how cold it is. Wind chill -10, and I might get 10 inches of snow. So right now I'm not looking too bad. I'll have to blow snow before I leave. I got to pick a friend up at the airport who's coming in today, and we're going to a funeral tomorrow. Well, visitation tonight, funeral tomorrow, and then he'll leave on Friday. So it's -2 here, but not much wind, thankfully. Well, I think we're supposed to have 30, 40 mile an hour winds. Not a big deal for us, but that blows the snow quite a bit. And so school just straight up gets canceled at these temperatures because kids waiting for the bus stop. You know, you're standing out at the bus stop, wind is blowing in cold, frostbite is a real possibility, and frankly, they just close it because it's not safe for the kids to be out waiting for the bus. And they don't just go, well, we won't have, the bus run. They might be able to do that nowadays, but I don't think that they're fully set. Like, during COVID, a lot of kids were streaming at home for class. They could probably go in the direction of doing that, of, hey, if it's certain circumstances, we'll have class, we'll go online, and we'll be able to do that. But they're going to have to negotiate with teachers' unions, and I don't think the teachers' unions were down with that unless it's, you get to the point you have no snow days, because there's snow days built in there. Okay, and I'm just looking at my chart, which you can't see, but let me pull that in here. Wow, this is so weird. I've changed the color scheme, and it looks really, really weird to me. I'm going to keep the snow on because it's snowing. Window capture, that's the one I need. And it was, that's right, I was capturing it on a Zoom meeting yesterday. Okay, I just realized as I was looking at this, I spelled Genesis G2N. That is a weird way to spell Genesis. I have no idea what I did there. I'm notorious for spelling poorly. It's gotta be one of the worst. One of the worst examples. Okay. Phoenix Restaurant, you're cold. Well, I got a little heater by my feet. I got the heat on in the house. I will warm up the car before going anywhere. The difficulty will be when I go out to blow the snow. And if you put a mask, up over your nose, then your glasses fog and you can't see. So I've got to keep my, part of my face exposed. It's not fun. But that moisture will fog the glasses up and make it really difficult. So that will be the moments of endurance out there. All right. Well, welcome in, everyone. I'm glad you are here. If you have not been here, we are doing Messiah Monday, which is just, trying to get that things that connect with the MM there. So it's really just, well, we're going to talk about the Gospels and read about Jesus, who is the Messiah. So that's all it is. Nothing fancy there. There we go. I'm updating that. I'm trying to do two things at once. Talk and then actually do something. So it didn't erase Genesis. What the heck? What the heckle and Jekyll? I highlighted you, then typed over you. You should not have remained. Okay. Now you went... What the... Okay, I don't know. Okay, Torah Tuesday, first 5 books of the Bible we'll be reading on Tuesday, and you voted on starting in Genesis. Wisdom Wednesday, We'll be reading from a Psalm, a Proverb, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon. You recommend a chapter, and that's what we will read. You can go over to Discord and do that. Paul the Dude! Shalom, 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 everyone. Transform Thursdays. Last week we looked at prayer and specifically intercession aspects of prayer. Praying on behalf of someone else. Going to God on behalf of someone else. So that's what we'll do on Thursdays. We'll do spiritual disciplines, things like that, exploring those. It went into a little bit of a word search, which was fine with me. And then Friday favorite. So we were in the book of Ruth. I gave a few options. You voted on Ruth over the other options. And then you can see down below are some other ones that we will get to later this year. Jonah, Ephesians, Esther, James, and not in any particular order. So that's what we got Monday through Friday. Wednesdays, I can stream this year, but they're going to be very short streams since I got a meeting at 9. But my 8 o'clock meeting is no more. Just kind of sad. I miss hanging out with those global friends who we met every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. But switched and shifted what we're doing with the church digital, and so that meeting is no longer needed. All right, so let's get over to Psalm 119. This is a very, 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 very long psalm. And this is also an acrostic. Okay? If you don't know what an acrostic poem is, the first word starts with the first letter of the alphabet. Then you switch to the second letter of the alphabet for the next verse. Then you have the third letter of the alphabet, and so on. However, in Psalm 119, it goes even a step further. Okay, let me pull it up here actually in the Greek, because then the Greek I might be able to show you. Let me see if it will let me. Thank you for the lurk, Galaxy. Can I switch versions to show in Hebrew? Well, maybe not. If I look at one verse here, right there, you see Aleph. If I go to verse 2, right there, Aleph. Go to verse 3. Oh, it must be, oh, no, there it is. Aleph. Go to verse 4. Aleph. Okay, so there's 8 verses in the first section, and they all start with that same letter. And then you go to the second section. So I don't know anyone that's tried to do this in English. I wish somebody would. It would be amazing on some level if you would come to this and try to translate it, each verse here all the way through it starting with B until you get to Gimel. Yes, it's your ABGs, not your ABCs. Got to go help the kids. We'll be back after I drop them off at school. See you, friends. Thank you, Bob. So, just pointing that out before we get into it, because the beauty is hidden. The depth of the beauty is hidden in the English, in my opinion. I think it's so much more beautiful, but it would have no meaning if I were to read it. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me do this. There we go. Now you can see it. Aleph, 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 Aleph. I didn't think about that. Aleph. Let me go bait, 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 bait. Gimel, 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 dalet, 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 dalet. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah. Okay, I don't need to keep doing that. You get the idea. Okay. How blessed are those whose actions are blameless, who obey the law of God. How blessed are those who observe his rules and seek him with all their heart, who moreover do no wrong, but follow in his footsteps. You demand that your precepts are carefully kept. If if only I were predisposed to keep your statutes, then I would not be ashamed. If if I were focused on all your commands, I will give you sincere thanks when I learn your just regulations. I will keep your statutes. Do not completely abandon me. Okay, so he talks about how blessed people are, how blameless people are that are following after God and seeking him with all his heart and following in his footsteps. Let me see what the footnote is. Walk in his ways. Okay, yep. I like to walk in his ways. I like walk, but follow. I'm fine with that. Not that they're going to change it if I'm not fine with it, but you know what I mean. If I were predisposed, if only my ways were established. Yeah, I got that. That's not a bad way to do that. Sorry, I'm just checking if my phone was making noises here that I need to check on, and I see nothing. Okay. So he shifts to or he says what we should do. He shifts to his struggle to do it. And then he acknowledges the completely abandoned. Do not abandon me to excess. The other uses of this phrase, to excess, see Psalm. Okay. So there's the opening. All starting with the same letter. So we might be able to do this if we made it sound like Yoda, where we put the word order in the wrong, organization there as we're saying it. Young person. Can you maintain life pure? We might need to switch orders there to be able to do the start every line with the same letter. I don't think I've done that in some time, try to do such a thing, but how can a young person maintain a pure life? Johnny Darko, welcome in, friend. Purify his path. Okay, so if we stick with the walk, but we got following and we've got life. Okay. By guarding it against, guarding it according to your instructions, not against, according to your word. Medieval manuscripts as well as LXX read plural, your words, instructions, plural. How can a young man, so just saying young man is translated, with the more, is replaced with young person because it's a reflexive orientation towards the young person, and it uses a specific gender, though it does not necessitate a specific gender. Okay. With all my heart I seek you. Do not allow me to stray from your commands. In my heart I store up your words, so I may not sin against you. You deserve praise, O Lord. Teach me your statutes. With my lips I proclaim all the regulations you have revealed. I rejoice in the lifestyle prescribed by your rules, as if, as if they were riches of all kinds. I will meditate on your precepts and focus on your behavior. I find delight in your statutes. I do not forget your instructions. North Hill gave an endorsement of the Net Bible yesterday as well. I just started using it because the footnotes are really good, and it is a modern translation so people can understand it. I have used the NIV And the reason I've used the NIV is the reading level of the NIV is around, I think, 6th grade level. And that's easier for more people to understand, especially if, you know, they're internationals, English as a second language. Their English may not be, but it seems like they keep changing and revising things. And so I can easily stop and look up the footnotes of the more complicated ideas anyway. So, okay. With my lips, I proclaim all your regulations you have revealed. Just want to look at what these are. With my mouth, in the ways of your rule, if they were riches of all kind, all wealth. Okay. I will meditate on the cohortative verb form of the verse expresses the psalmist's resolve. Oh, not if I will. I am. I'm a-doing it. Is it going to be done? Gaze at, focus at your behavior, your ways. Yeah, see, your behavior, when I'm thinking of God, that feels weird, but saying God's ways seems a little different to me, but that's probably just me. I find delight in your statutes. The imperfect in the verse emphasizes the attitude the psalmist maintains towards God's law. Another option is to translate with the future tense, I will find delight. I will not forget. Okay, I will gives it I have not yet. I don't like it. I would prefer the I will not forget future tense, like I have it now and I will not let it go. And then 25, your word. Okay. So it looks like what they're doing is it's your word, your word, your word, and they are substituting other parallels in here for your word instead of letting the repetition of your word come through in the text. I love the repetition because it rings in our ears, and I think that's what's supposed to happen. But, okay. So we have praise of God. We have acknowledgement of difficulty. Now we are saying we have a desire to live the path, to walk the path, to be on the path, and now we're going through and saying we love that you have given us all of these things. And
Michael Corleone just followed.
Hey, Michael Corleone! Welcome into the family. I'm doing the wrong Italian there. Welcome to the. I can't do it. Welcome to the family. Yeah, it says, I will welcome your precepts. They didn't give me the word for precepts here as a footnote. But just saying up above, when we had rules, or we had it's the way of your rules. We had your words up here. So we have more repetition of word and way being used. And the going to broader synonyms to be poetic is just losing a little bit of the ringing sting of it. Hello, blessings. Thank you, Mikey, Michael, MC, TTV. What should I call you, friend? IT, is that it? Welcome in. Glad you're here. Glad you found us. We are reading in Psalm 119. All right, moving on to letter Gimel. Be kind to your servant. I think the IT is Italian. Yeah, that makes sense. Be kind to your servant. Then I will live and keep your instructions. Oh, it says he's from Italy. Oh, cool. This is interesting. Then I will live. What's this? The prefix verbal form is probably a cohortative indicating purpose results after the preceding imperative. Okay, so that might be a way to bring that out. Be kind to your servant, and I will, and then I will. It's almost like cause and effect, rather than conditional. Like, if you're not kind to me, then I will not live and keep your instructions. That's how I'm reading it. Then, that's the not so that would be the purpose. I think that, and if it's saying it's purpose or results, I would go with that. So that I will, or so that I may live and keep your instructions. Anyway. Open my eyes so open my eyes so I can see. Sorry, I just had the song pop in my head. It's truly see. The marvelous things in your law. I am a resident foreigner in this land. Do not hide your commands from me. So, what would the idea here of being hiding the commands from him? If the commands are hidden, I don't know how to follow them. I mean, if you're ever driving in a foreign country, which I have, one of the things I'm doing is constantly looking for the speed limit signs because I don't know what I should be doing or not be doing. I'm constantly looking for, and you have to look in different places sometimes, for the street lights because they're not overhead and in the middle. They're sometimes over on the side, and you got to be looking to the side like you'd look for a stop sign. So, don't hide those commands from me. I desperately long to know your regulations at all times. You reprimand arrogant people. Those who stray from your commands are doomed. Spare me shame and humiliation, for I observe your laws. Though rulers plot and slander me, your servant meditates on your statutes. Yes, I find delight in your rules. They give me guidance. Okay. The men of council, that is. Huh. Okay. BTS, good morning. God says, I'm above the seventh heaven, and paradise is between the incorruptible and the corruptible. We dwell in corruptible. God dwells in incorruptible, for God can't be corrupted. Catholicism is just dressed up paganism, and it corrupts society on a large scale. Most Catholic leaders are morally weak, while known to be deviant. That's the history, and we know it. There's no nice way to say Ethiopians should be people who speak for Christianity, not phony Rome, the Vatican. You're welcome to your opinions there, but I would say the same way that there are corrupt popes, although the status that the Church of Rome would have is that they can't be, but Protestant ministers have done many same horrible thing. Just because someone makes a claim to follow after God doesn't mean they live that way or actually do it. We've had quite a few prominent Protestants with problems in the last year, and this is a place for anyone of any faith to come and dwell. BTS, so I appreciate your opinion, but we're not here to bash anyone else. We're here to spend time in God's Word. Okay, so we've got sparing shame and humiliation, desiring to observe the rules, following after, taking delight in the rules, because the rules bring guidance. I mean, think about, I've been watching 1883, and they're trying to make their way to the Oregon Trail, and they're starting in Texas, and they're wandering around the country, trying to make it through all of the pitfalls of bandits and thieves and the elements and the animals and the natives, and it's difficult and horrible, for most of them. It's difficult and horrible for most of them along the way, pitfalls and all. So having a guide is a necessity. Having a guide that understands there's weather coming, we should move now. there's weather coming, or there will be weather coming. We need to make it to a certain point on our trail, or we've got to stay over winter. We can't keep going. And so the people that don't follow the advice of the guide end up dead. Oh, just about all of them. And some of the people that do follow the advice also end up dead. So, yeah, having the guide, having the delight of knowing the guide, and the guide is God's word, and the psalmist is talking about the beauty of it. Okay, moving on to the next letter, Dalet. I collapse in the dirt. Revive me with your words. I told you about my ways, and you answered me. Teach me your statutes. Help me to understand what your precepts mean. What? What? You mean it takes time to understand what Scripture has to say? It's not just, well, it says, so I can do. Yeah, it takes time sometimes to understand. There are times, or a lot of times, where the Hebrew, it doesn't have precision in the language. And we have to make decisions about what it is saying and what it is teaching. Welcome in, Lucis. Help me understand your precepts mean. What do they mean? Then I can meditate on your marvelous teaching. So when I understand, I can meditate on the things that you have given us. I collapse from grief. Sustain me by your word. Remove from me the path of deceit. Graciously give me your law. I choose the path of faithfulness, and I am committed to your regulations. I hold fast to your rules. O Lord, do not let me be ashamed. Okay, I think the ashamed earlier, a reference to not having access and knowledge to them, and then would be found ashamed for not obeying. Here, because I know them and I'm holding fast to them, I have no need to be ashamed. I run along the path of your commands, for you enable me to do so. So look at how this starts with God, give me the ability to do this, and then now you have enabled me to do it. So starting an idea, concluding idea. There could be a chiasm here within the acrostic. This is a really long acrostic, so any chiasm in there would be quite intense to identify. Moving on to hey. Teach me, O Lord, the lifestyle prescribed in your statutes, so that I may observe it continually. Let me see what the continually is here, and I will be able to keep it to the end. Okay, I actually like the to the end better. Not only is it continuing now going forward, it is continuing and not ending ever. A little bit different there than continually, in my mind. Give me understanding so that I might observe your law and keep it with all my heart. Guide me in the path of your commands, for I delight to walk in it. Give me a desire for your rules. What do we have here? Turn my heart to your rules. Okay. We also have the psalmist say, create in me a clean heart, O God. Prepare me a right spirit. Acknowledgement of, I wonder what the word is for desire. I got to go look it up. It's turn your heart. So I don't think it is the word desire that I'm thinking, but they're translating it desire, because when I hear desire, I am thinking it sin is at the door and its desire is for you. So natah, to incline your heart unto your testimony. That's going to be the word there.
Strong's H 5186. Nacheth.
Naheh.
Nacheth.
To stretch out, to spread
Second
out.
entry. Natah.
Oh, there it is.
Natah.
Okay, stretch out, to be stretched out. So it is the pitching of his tent is the first use of this, to spread out. That's a weird. So stretch out my heart. Stretch out my heart. I'm watching you people. Welcome in. Okay, so we were at keep it within your heart. Okay. Guide me in the path of your command, for I delight to walk in it. Give me a desire for your rules. Oh, that's where we were, actually. The desires. The stretch out, the desires. Turn my heart. Stretch out my heart to your rules. Rather than the wealth gained unjustly. Ooh, what do we have? Unjustly, not unjust again. Or not unjust gain. Okay. So the exploitation of others. Turn my eyes away from what is worthless, and revive me with your word. Confirm to your servant your promise, which you made to the one who honors you. Miss Tamlin, welcome in, Mrs. Tamlin. Take away the insults that I dread. Ooh. Ooh. The reproach that I fear. Oh. Okay. Oh, this is a good line. I'm going to sort of pause here on this one. Take away the insults, the reproach that I fear, that I dread. Like, okay. Every one of us probably has something that we don't want to be called. And as a Christian, there are many derogatory things that people will say about us. As a pastor, I hear insults of different kinds. There are some that just baffle me at times, in regards to prayer, that, oh, yeah, what you need to do is actually do something, not just pray about it. And I'm thinking, who is the person that you experienced that simply thought that praying and not doing something was the thing? I don't know who that was that experienced that, but that's I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. There are certainly those people, and I'll just go in this for a minute. There are Christians who do not believe in using the modern medicine. Okay. I could understand if you knew that someone could be helped by getting an IV, by getting a blood transfusion, and someone wouldn't let that happen, and yet they prayed instead, and the person died, and you'd say you need to not just pray but do something. I can understand that. But to the extent of someone is in the hospital with anything, and they're getting the care, and the doctors are providing care, I can't do any of the care. What am I supposed to do? Like, when I'm praying for someone with medical conditions, I have no skills, I have no talent, I have no tools, I can do nothing. I can pray. So I'm just using that as an example of I can get where they could come from in some great cases. But yeah, so what are the things that you dread people saying about you? I mean, those of you who are gamers and streamers, if you're wearing a DC-4C, but more than that, I'm wearing a video game controller. I wear this shirt to church, and how many people are going to say, grow up and quit living in your wife's basement? I mean, because I don't live at my mom's house, you're just in your wife's basement, living in the basement, playing video games and streaming. When are you going to grow up and quit playing video games? Okay, what are the insults that you dread? And then others that are not about what we do, but maybe they're about our stature. I was always the shortest kid in school until I got to 7th grade. And then Iron, yes, his name was Iron. Iron was the shortest kid. I loved Iron. He was awesome. But he was shorter than me, so that also helped. Yeah. Or if you're tall, you get the opposite. If you're skinny, you get it. If you're overweight, you get it. If you got glasses, you get it. I mean, there are so many different ways in which we endure insults, and there's the ones that you just dread them. Anyway, I know I'm doing a long thing on there, but come alongside of people that when those things happen. Yeah. Johnny, since I retired at 39 years old, I am really sensitive towards people calling me lazy. Just because I don't have a job doesn't mean I'm lazy. I'm busy working for the Lord. Amen. BTS. We know who corrupted the Holy Scriptures. Okay. BTS. This is not a channel for just posting, bashing of others. And so, let me see, what can I do here? No, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to ask you to refrain from bashing anyone who claims to follow Christ, because just because someone in leadership may be worth addressing as having done something, and yes, the church as a whole, when it was singular church and crusades and other stuff throughout history, we've done a lot of wrong. I'm not worried about the past. I'm worried about what you can do today. So, why is it not letting me do actions here? Maybe I need to be over here. Let me look over here. Okay. Well, this is your warning. I don't like to block people today, but yeah, I'm not interested. If you want to have your own channel, you want to have those discussions, there are places for it. This stream, reading through the Bible, is not the place for that. I'm watching you people. Nothing comes to mind outside of saying personal facts about me in a stream. Ones that dox me. I guess I don't think of it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, take away the insults that I dread. Indeed, your regulations are good. Look, I long for your precepts. Revive me with your deliverance. Moving on to the next letter. Vav. Yod, Hey, Vav. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. May I experience your loyal love? Ooh, is this Hesed? This should be Hesed. You got to go look it up. 41, are we Hesed? Let your mercies. Hesed. Hesed. I love that I can identify if they give me enough of a good... So this is loving kindness, mercy. I like loving kindness, loving faithfulness, along those lines. Mercy, steadfast love. Those are all great ways to experience your loyal love. That's a good. They're going with a new direction of it, but I like it. O Lord, and your deliverance as you promised. Then I will have a reply for the one who insults me. For I trust in your word. Do not completely deprive me of a truthful testimony. For I await your justice. Then I will keep your law continually. Now and for all time. I will be secure. For I seek your precepts. I will speak about your regulations before kings and not be ashamed. Welcome in, Mel. So now, not only am I knowing them, am I meditating them on them, I am able to confidently proclaim them before kings, before others. I will find delight in your commands, which I love. I will lift my hands to your commands. which I love, and I will meditate on your statutes. So now we're getting praise for all of them. Johnny, I want to do a deep dive into different translations this month and where they came from. Oops. Bum, 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 bum. Why they do what they do. It's fascinating to me right now, the differences. Well, there are, most translations will tell you about the method of their translations, and some of them have been done by specific groups of people or specific individuals. I tend to stay away from one that is done simply by an individual, because usually when an individual does it, there's no one to help them be able to wrestle with things when they're doing it, and they might make an error or a mistake, or they have intentional bias when you have just an individual do a translation. Some are doing what is called more of a paraphrase, and it's trying to convey an idea, and it's not as tied to the original language. So let me give you an example. So if I said the cat has her tongue, in English expression and in the USA, we're going to understand what that means. But if I translate that literally into a foreign language, it doesn't translate as an idiom. It translates as those exact words. And then do they understand the idiom? Or do they think literally the cat came up, the cat literally took the tongue and went away? So that's why some will go for trying to not do word for word. Others will do word for word, and then you've got to figure out if it's a figure of speech when they're doing that. Like white as snow. Translating white as snow to those who live on a sandy desert island who don't know what snow is, so you go with something else they would know, white as bleached coral, to convey the idea. If you're going word for word, you don't do that. You just stick with the word. No matter what it was, you find a word in the language, and you do that. So there's a lot of variance beyond it, but that's a couple things. Axel! Morning, gamers! I'm watching. I grew up with bad-mouthed by Family School Society. When people came into my chat, obviously trying to get a response, I briefly skimmed their comments and go to the next chatter. Sometimes frustrates a mod or two, but I generally to bite the bait. Yep. Don't bite the bait. Exactly. Well, sometimes it's hard to know if they're targeting you or targeting the chat with those things too. Johnny, when it comes to teaching and understanding the Bible, would you say the NIV is your favorite? I would say that I've usually used the NIV because churches I've been at have the NIV in the pews, and when you have pew Bibles, you usually stick with that version that's there. I also used it often with streaming because it like I was saying earlier, it's 6th grade level English, and it's contemporary English, and if you get the online version of it, though it may not match what's in the pew, they are constantly working on an update of language as they're working through piece by piece. You don't have to, with electronic versions, you do not have to wait for a complete revamping of a Bible before it can go into print. So that's where if you go and say, well, this is the 1995 version of something, that was because it had to go to print in 1995, and that was the version at the time. I like electronic versions because for lots of reasons. But in overall usability, I like the NIV. Is it the best? It has its faults just like everyone does. Says Pineapple, hey, good to see you. Hey, folks, I know. Missionary who helped the Bible translation, the people they worked with have never seen sheep, so they substituted sheep with chickens. All chickens have gone astray. Oh, that's funny. And I told, like, in that result, oh my goodness, yes, all chickens have gone astray. Oh yeah, we're not herding no chickens. Oh, that's funny. There were also no comparable words for joy, so they used the wagging tail of a dog to explain unspeakable joy. Ooh, that's a good one. Jesus was a chicken rancher. I Oh, well then what how would they do the I am the good shepherd? I I'm the chickens go in and out through the gate. I am the gate. The the thief comes to steal the chicken. I mean, I guess it still can work, but the good shepherd or the good farmer lays down his life for the chickens. That seems even weirder than laying down your life for the sheep. Lay down your life for the chickens. It's a hard pass. No, thank you. I'm not doing that. Yeah, you didn't ask about that. I wondered. They had other things too as ways of explaining. Oh yeah, yeah. Draka bro, lay down your life for Shaggy and Scooby. Yup, yup. Interesting. Okay. Moving on to Zayn. Remember your words to your servant, for you have given me hope. Okay, this is one of those things that the psalmist does regularly, and this is something I think we do not always do well in prayer. And yes, the psalmist may not necessarily be doing a prayer here, but it is certainly one that can be used as a prayer. Remember the words of your servant. This is one of the things the prophets do often. The prophets will talk about what God has said in his word and then call God to remember what he has said. Yeah, been a couple weeks. Hope you've been well, Flag. I have been well, Draka, and I'm glad to see you back. Glad you're able to make it. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing this year as far as a lot of things. Vacation next week, but getting feet underneath the new approach for the year of studying the Bible, that's been going good. The working towards having an outpost for gaming streaming is going good. So I got a lot of good stuff going on and watching God do some amazing things. So thanks for asking. Anyway, God, your word says this. God, I don't feel like that's what's happening. But I remember him and that gives me hope. Like you said, you would never leave us nor forsake us. Okay, so I'm going to claim that. God, remember you said, you'll never leave us nor forsake us. You said that, and I'm following after you, and I'm doing all I can. If I've sinned, show me that. I'll work on it. I'll fix it. I'll get rid of it. But remembering those things and bringing them before God gives me hope. I think that's what he's saying here. This is what comforts me in my trouble. For your promise revives me. Yes, like I was dead. I'm fallen to death, and remembering what you've promised, remembering what your word says. How can I remember it if I don't go read it? Just saying. Draka, I've been going through the promise calendar your uncle gave for the church. It's been weird seeing old KJV compared to other versions from a Discord Bible bot. Oh, interesting. Yeah. And the Spirit is the one who gives life. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I have spoken to you are spirit and life. It feels a little odd for me to ask God to remember his promises. Of course he remembers. He's God. Oh, yeah. And it's not... Okay, yes. I understand what you're saying. It is a little odd to ask someone who remembers to remember. But it's not really about asking God to remember. It is acknowledging that you, in fact, know God's word. So, think about your kids for a minute, if you have kids, or when you were a kid, and your mom or dad promised you that if you got an A, or all A's on your report card, you're getting to go to Disney World. I don't know if you made that promise, but something along those lines. You get what I mean. So when the kid comes home with all A's on the report card, they're not just going to hand it lightly to mom and dad and nonchalantly, just wait for mom and dad to say, hey, it's time to go pack. We're going to Disney World. You're coming in saying, remember you promised, because there is a relationship there. And the reminding of the promise is because you're in relationship. So it's not about God not remembering. It's about either if it's something bad, you said you'd comfort. I want to have that. If it's something good, you promised it. I'm waiting for it. So it's more of that. I think if you think of it in that terms of I've endured something, and there was something that would be to come. I know what it is. I'm waiting for it. I'm longing for it, and I'm waiting on you. Not that the person who promised forgets. Same way a parent wouldn't necessarily forget that they promised to go to Disney World. Now, if it was a promise to you to give you a pack of gum or something insignificant of no value, you might forget. Yeah, I think it's like I say, I think it's a little more than saying we remember. It's also an asking for fulfillment of it in the moment. Or if it's a good thing, I'm ready for it to happen. Oh yeah, remember your people, remember your promise, oh God. Yeah. We also see this. We see this like throughout the Old Testament, all over the places. You know what? Let's go look the word up. I remember. This is the I remember. Here, let's go look up 49. 49. Let's go look up the word remember and see how often it's used. Zachar. Yeah, Chris Tomlin, your grace is enough.
Strong's H2142. Zacher.
Okay, this might also be helpful to recall, or to call to mind. So I'm bringing it up so that it is called to mind. It's not that it's lost in your memory, but you're bringing it to the forefront of your memory. So bringing it from the background to the foreground of your thoughts. To be brought to remembrance. So if you think about if you're going to a funeral, you suddenly are having remembrances of events in someone's life. Yeah, call to mind is a good, yeah. We're calling to mind in this moment memories from the past. So we're calling to mind at this moment promises made by God. Okay, where's the first usage? Love to go look at first usage. And God remembered Noah. Okay, so it's more of God brought to mind Noah and every living thing and all the cattle. So this is more of a contrasting God with other flood narratives where the gods may have brought the destruction, and then they don't remember the individuals who are supposed to be saved. God calls to mind Noah and everything, and he starts to bring things back from there. Okay. So how many times does this word occur? 233 times. Oh, wait, here. Oh, that's in the translation count. 551 references, and translated 233 times. So, yeah, remember the Sabbath day. Remember this day when you came out of Egypt. So it's calling to mind. Call to mind. Call to mind Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the servants. That's actually going to be a really good translation. Call to mind. Then will I call to mind my covenant with Jacob. But I will, for their sakes, call to mind the covenant of their ancestors. So. All right, that was a fun little trail. Okay. What do we got? I'll have to look in a second. Says Pineapple. We use it every November. Remember, 5th November. I don't know what that's for. I know Armistice Day, November 11, which we now call Veterans Day. Yeah, call to mind. I like that. You got 28K channel points, Balaam. What are you going to use them on? That's something that's always kind of made me ponder. Thanks for clearing up. No worries. No worries. And just because that's how I'm describing it, someone else might describe it a different way to add more balance to that as well, too. Oh, it's Uncle Teddy with the biddies. Thank you, friend. Appreciate that. Okay. I love the little side trails and learning more. Okay. So I remember your ancient regulation. I call to mind your ancient regulations, O Lord, and console myself. Rage takes hold of me because of the wicked, those who reject your law. Your statutes have been my song in the house where I live. I remember your name during the night, O Lord, and I will keep your law. This has been my practice, for I observe your precepts. So we had the how hard is it to live, the longing to live, and now the I am living this way. Now we have hate. Bonfire night over here where folks tried to blow up houses of parliament. If successful, the King James Bible likely would not have been written. Yeah, there's actually supposed to be, I think it's this year, a documentary on the whole process of the King James Bible being written. And prior to the King James Bible, the Geneva Bible was one of the Bibles used in England. But one of the major things that King James did not like in there was some things in regards to how you treat rulers and things. And so they got changed, in regards to honor the emperor kind of language from some of the other things to downplay stuff in the King James Bible. I have a friend who knows about it and had shared that info. So yeah, when I find info, I'll post it in the Discord. Okay. The Lord is my source of security. Okay, well, that's not really poetic. My portion. Okay. The Lord is my portion. I have determined to follow your instructions. I seek your favor with all my heart. Have mercy on me as you promised. I consider my action and follow your rules. I keep your commands eagerly and without delay. The ropes of the wicked tighten around me, but I do not forget your law. In the middle of the night, I arise to thank you for your just regulations. I am a friend to all your loyal followers and to those who keep your precepts. O Lord, your loyal love fills the earth. Teach me your statutes. Okay, that's so interesting. Like, I know I'm following. There's wicked. They're against me. I'm not afraid. I'm lifting up all who are with you. But help me know I'm better. That's where maybe I'd go. Okay, let me get caught up on chat. I saw that rolling along. What does unto this day in the Bible mean in the King James? I'll have to look at that passage. Wesley Huff is the one who got me really into the history of the Bible. You're addicted. Oh, yeah, I've watched some of his videos. He's pretty fascinating and a good scholar. One of the things that also, as you're looking into this, you'll run into Textus Receptus would be what got passed down. Okay, it's what got passed down. But now that we have older things, so for instance, if we go to our oldest copies, they're from the Byzantine Empire, so around Turkey, Constantinople, we've got Alexandria, and we've got Judea. Well, we also then have it translated into Latin. So if you're getting Textus Receptus, you're translating from Latin and maybe the northern branch of all of the different copies of the oldest text. So we have them from all places, and then we go back to try to make explanations for words added, words left out, spelling differences, those kinds of things. So, yeah, not to mention the Old Geneva Bible declared Rome the Babylon spoken about in Revelation. Yeah, Draka, yeah, some of those things, and then England being associated with, or Rome being associated with, yeah. Okay, so here's Balaam where you're saying, to this day they are, okay, we're at 2 Kings. Accounting according to the earlier customs, they were not fearing Yahweh. They are not acting according to your statutes, to their judgments and law, or the commands which Yahweh commands the sons of Jacob. He named Israel. Okay, so it'd be up to this point, like when they left Egypt, up to this day, they haven't acted according to the earlier customs. So, or a different way of saying is, right now they're not doing what they're supposed to. To this day. So I could say, for instance, in 7th grade, I got my first flat cap, and I have been wearing them to this very day. I have been wearing flat caps. So, so maybe that helps you to get that. Yes, the Texas Receptus and the other source works, where that came from, all that stuff. So interesting. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Okay. Unto this day, they do not do the former manners. Yes. Okay. Where are we at in the text? And we've got ad break coming in shortly, which I've been trying to put off, but let's see where we are. Oh, teach me your statutes. That's where you are. What is my favorite book of the Bible? It's hard to always put it on one. And if we're gonna go Gospels, boy, I struggle. Like all 4 of the Gospels are fantastic. So, but I would probably go with John out of the Gospels, because John can simultaneously talk about things to a Greek and Roman audience and simultaneously be using the Old Testament and the Old Testament language to talk about things. And the philosophical approach and the beauty of it, John's pretty amazing. I do love the book of Leviticus, and when I go over here to Friday Favorites, that's where we're going to be going through those here, with the exceptions of anything in the Torah and the Gospel. So Monday's Gospel, Tuesday's Torah. So those will be there. But Jonah, Ephesians, Esther, James, those are all fantastic. It's so difficult, so difficult. I really love Matthew. Matthew is a different approach. Matthew is the book for the outcast, and I love that about Matthew. Mark is the book of you think you know Jesus, you might not know Jesus. You think you know. You got a hard heart. You're not loving your neighbor as yourself, and it's a whole hard reflection of hold a mirror up to the church, in my opinion. And Luke is just amazing. Luke is fantastic with the details of the. Go do this sometime. Luke is a series of meals. Jesus eats a meal and then travels until he eats another meal, and he travels until he eats another meal. And women are prominent all the way throughout the book. So I have lots of reasons to love all of them. Zach Lee live, welcome in. Good morning, friend. Okay. The Slavic alphabet or something has been made by 2 Christian missionaries, I think, where they trying to make a Bible for the people there. And that happens all over the place. Oh. Okay, so the reason, there's a different word that's usually used for that. And it's a great question. Mumser is a word that would be used for those people that do not fit in with society. So when we go through the genealogy in Matthew brings in, and we looked at this on Monday. He brings in Rahab the harlot. He brings in Ruth the Moabite. He talks about Uriah the Hittite. He talks about Tamar. Okay, so he brings in all of these outcast foreigners into the genealogy, which they're there, but he points them out. He highlights them. He emphasizes them. He also was a tax collector who is going to be outcast from society because he's collaborated with Rome. So all the way through the encounters, there's two motifs. You can use a different motif that Matthew is concerned with the kingship of Jesus, and he absolutely is. But that kingship also extends to everyone, and everyone is included in the kingdom. So all of the outcasts are brought into the kingdom. So when Jesus goes to people, he is encountering with people that society would not have encounters with. He goes to the lame, the poor. And it's not that he doesn't do it in others. It's just the way that Matthew presents it that emphasizes or highlights the constantly going to people that society neglects and leaves out, and those that are abandoned for whatever reason, and brings them in. So that's why it's phrased that way. He also is constantly like, this is to fulfill, this is to fulfill, this is to fulfill. So anyway, hope that helps with that. Good question, though. Johnny, my past church was focused on helping non-reach people, groups, and the discussions around getting translation in the hands of those who don't have a translation is such good work. Yeah, and I've heard estimates that by 2033, every language will have a translation because of the assist that AI is working with. Thanks for explaining. You're welcome. Yeah, 3,526 languages in 173 countries. Yeah. I think Donnie, it is 2033, so in 8 years. But I think I heard that stat 2 years ago before the AI stuff. So, like, and that may not be full Bible, okay? That would be New Testament translation, okay? So, and usually one of the four Gospels is the first thing translated, and often it might be Mark. So, it's a shorter book. It's a shorter gospel. So that would be some of those reasons. Okay. You know what? Let's see. We're at 65. I don't think we're going to finish this. How many verses do we have? We'll just leave it there. We'll start next week at 65. Okay, so we made it through 64. One through 64. And we'll pick up at 65 next time. All right, because Wednesdays, I still got a meeting. So let's get a blessing on everyone here. And thankfully, the things calmed down there. We didn't get into any debates and arguments there. And I didn't have to ban. I was gonna might have to, so appreciate that if you're still here lurking. Appreciate that you have respect, even if we disagree. Because I think that's how you win people over, is to show respect. If you don't, it's really hard. So, Latrell, yeah, hello, welcome in. Sorry, we're just getting ready to raid out. May God seek and comfort find you. May his loving arms bind you. May his might protect you. May his wisdom direct you. May the joyous love of Jesus Christ be with you and all those you know, both now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let me just show you, we are passing the cap right now for Mel's cousin. And let me go back and show you that while I find someone to raid. So Mel's cousin lost her home in the fires out in LA, and we do a thing called Passing the Cap, where as we have been blessed, we share what we can, we lift up in prayer, and we pass along blessings. And I love when people have a GoFundMe that you can give directly. Let me just update this. I didn't update it since yesterday. Okay, it looks like still has, we got one more donation since yesterday. We're up to 37 donations. So if you are able to, as you are able to, I'm hoping to be able to help her get art supplies back up and running, and so that she can do that. She is an artist. You can go to the Discord, and I've got info. What do we just have? Oh, thank you for the biddies. Just finding someone to raid here. Bum. Oh, that's who that is. It's like, who is that? I don't recognize. Ah, let's just go here. Let's go here. We'll go over do some gospel today. That'll be good. If it'll let me. Oh, there we go. I can start raiding before it loads everything. All right. Thank you, everybody. Let's go bless others as we have been blessed. Thank you. Appreciate it. Love you all. Thank you for being here.
Flat cap on his head, he's streaming live. Reading from the book, the word's so alive.
Yeah, I love raiding One Reason. There's a lot of people I love raiding. I don't love raiding One Reason because of the music. I love it because of One Reason. He's an awesome dude. I love hanging
In the
with him.
digital world
So
where
full of joy.
spirits
And
roll.
I love that. And sharing God's word.
Hallelujah, from the screen we scream. Join the pastor in the holy dream, spreading love with every verse he reads, planting hope like precious seeds. He's a shepherd with a virtual flock, leading us to faith around